Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
Forget endlessly scrolling through listings today. We're going to zoom in, really zero in on just one property, trying to understand what really makes a lakefront retreat, desirable.
Right.
We've got all the juicy details
Yeah.
from a listing for a place right on the Lake of the Ozarks.
Okay.
And the goal here, really just to pull out the key insights about lakefront living, what features matter.
Exactly. We're looking beyond just like the square footage and the price tag.
Yeah.
We want to get the story this listing is telling,
Yeah.
about the lifestyle, what lakefront owners prioritize.
Yeah.
By really digging into this one example, we can maybe see some broader trends, some valuable stuff for anyone even kind of curious about this type of property.
Okay, so let's start with location. Where is this lakeside gem? The rest is 32280 Gliding Hawk Road, Grovo Mills, Missouri. But maybe more importantly for the lake folks, it's at the 7-mile marker on the Lake of the Ozarks. Now, for those of us maybe not super familiar with the Lake of the Ozarks, what does that mile marker actually tell us?
Yeah, that's a good question. Think of mile markers like addresses, but on the water. Helps you navigate, understand the different zones of the lake.
Okay.
Generally, the lower numbers are closer to Bagnell Dam, which is kind of starting point.
Right.
So being at the 7-mile marker, that puts this place within, relatively easy reach of some of the busier spots near the dam.
Maybe far enough out for some peace.
Exactly. Maybe a bit more tranquility. What's interesting is how the listing points out its convenience. It says minutes from dining by land or water.
Oh, nice.
And it's near Sunrise Beach and Laurie, so it's really highlighting that you aren't sacrificing accessibility to get that waterfront escape.
Right. It sounds like maybe the best of both worlds.
Could be.
And speaking of the water, 95 feet of shoreline? That sounds pretty decent, right?
Yeah.
A good stretch of waterfront.
Yeah, 95 feet is a solid amount. Gives you space.
But the listing also says it's in a cove location, but with a main channel view. Can you kind of break down why that specific combo might be appealing?
Oh, yeah. That's a really sought-after mix.
Okay.
A cove location usually means calmer water, way better for swimming, docking your boat easily, just kind of relaxing.
Right, less wake.
Exactly. But having that main channel view and easy access to the main channel means you're still connected. You can easily get out to the bigger water for, faster boating or hitting restaurants further away. Properties that balance the peaceful cove plus the main channel connection, they tend to hold their value really well. And 95 feet gives you privacy and room for your dock setup.
Gotcha. Okay, let's talk about the house itself then. Asking price is $649,900. It's 2,218 square feet on just over, 0.7 acres?
Yeah, 0.72 acres.
3 beds, 2 full baths, and interestingly, built sometime in the 50s.
Yeah.
But heavily remodeled in 2020.
Right, quite recently.
And the listing makes a point of saying nearly $200K in upgrades. That sounds significant. What kind of value does that usually add in a lakefront market?
Oh, it's huge. A $200,000 investment, especially that recent, usually means they did a lot.
Right.
Not just making it look pretty, but potentially hitting key systems too. Plumbing, electric,
The important stuff behind the walls.
Exactly. In a hot market like the lakefront often is, those kinds of recent quality upgrades, they seriously boost the appeal and justify a higher price. It suggests that, the next owner gets a modern place without the potential headaches of an older, untouched property.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And they even mention new windows framing breathtaking lake views. That's not just cosmetic. New windows can really help with energy efficiency, too.
Good point. And those kitchen upgrades you mentioned. Stainless steel appliances, quartz counters, custom cabinets. That sounds exactly like what people are looking for now.
Totally. That's the checklist. Plus, they mentioned a metal roof.
Right. I saw that. Not always the sexiest feature, maybe?
Maybe not, but it speaks volumes about durability.
Okay.
A metal roof means lower maintenance long-term, lasts longer. It's a sign the previous owners invested in, like quality infrastructure, not just quick cosmetic fixes.
Okay, moving outside. And it seems like there's a lot of outside to enjoy here.
Lake life.
Yeah. There's a Trex-decked patio right at the seawall.
Low maintenance decking. Nice.
A wraparound deck on the house itself, a screened-in area.
Gonna have a screened porch at the lake. Keeps the bugs out.
Definitely. And even a fire pit area with views. Oh, and get this, a golf cart path down to the water.
See, that's awesome.
That really paints a picture, doesn't it? How you'd actually live there.
It really does. All those different outdoor spaces tell you it's built for the lake lifestyle. You've got options: sunbathing by the water, eating outside without mosquitoes, cozy nights by the fire.
Yeah.
And that golf cart path, it's not just like a cute feature, it's practical. Think about hauling coolers, towels, people, especially if there's any kind of slope. It's a major convenience.
Totally see that. Okay, let's dive into the actual waterfront access. The dock.
Crucial.
It says a cement tile dock, 1 slip, and it even gives the dimensions.
Yeah.
11 feet wide, 27 feet long.
Very important details.
Plus a dock lift, and it mentions a dock permit. Then there's the seawall, concrete, and stone, also with a permit listed. Why are these specifics, like permits and dimensions, so important?
Okay, so for anyone serious about boating, those slip dimensions are make or break.
Right, gotta fit your boat.
You have to know if your boat will fit. And a dock lift is a really valuable add-on. Protects your boat hull, keeps it out of the water when you're not using it. And the permits, non-negotiable, seriously. It means the dock and seawall meet the local rules, likely a Marin's rules at Lake of the Ozarks.
So no future hassles or fines.
Exactly. You don't want to buy a place and find out the dock is non-compliant and needs expensive fixes or removal. That happens.
Oof, yeah.
And the listing also mentions boathouse potential under the waterfront features, kind of hinting at maybe future upgrades you could do, adds value.
Interesting. Okay, now something else that caught my eye. A detached 2-car garage, but they specifically call it a 24 by 30 shop.
Nice size.
It's got electricity, a workbench, extra attic storage.
Yeah.
That sounds like way more than just parking cars. Why is a good garage or shop like that such a big deal for a lake house?
Oh, it's almost essential. Think about all the stuff that comes with lake living.
Yeah. Tubes, skis.
Water skis, wakeboards, fishing gear, life jackets, paddles, plus tools for upkeep, maybe a workshop for hobbies.
Right.
A spacious garage or shop gives you somewhere to put all that, keeps the house from getting cluttered. The workbench and electricity mean it's a genuinely usable space, not just storage.
And that extra attic storage.
Golden. You can never have too much storage at the lake. No.
Okay, shifting inside. The listing says furnished part.
Always a bit vague.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the list of included appliances is pretty long, even a wine cooler, built-in coffee bar area.
Nice touches.
But it also makes sure to say what's not included. Personal items, most furniture, though it says the golf cart and mower are available for extra cost.
Okay.
What should a buyer make of that furnished part description? How do you navigate that?
Furnished part usually means the big built-in stuff stays oven, cooktop, dishwasher, fridge, microwave, maybe light fixtures, window treatments.
The essentials.
Yeah. But it's really crucial for a buyer to get a detailed list, an inventory in writing. What exactly stays, what goes. Avoids any arguments or surprises at closing.
Good advice.
And offering the golf cart and mower separately is smart. They're often pretty necessary for lakefront living and maintenance, so it's a convenience for the buyer if they want them.
Makes sense. Okay, let's hit some practical points. Utilities. It's on a private well for water.
Okay, common for some lake areas.
But connected to a sewer district for sewer.
That's generally a plus. Sewer districts are usually seen as more reliable, less hassle than managing a private septic system, especially near the water.
Right. Internet is Charter Spectrum. And importantly, rent allowed nightly and VAC rent YN are both marked yes.
Ah, okay. That's significant.
That opens up a pretty big opportunity for income, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The ability to do short-term rentals like Airbnb or VRBO can be a huge factor for buyers. Helps offset costs, maybe even turn a profit.
But potential headaches, too.
Always.
Yeah.
You'd need to check local regulations, maybe county or city rules about short-term rentals. They can change. But having that option explicitly allowed is a big draw. And having decent internet like Spectrum is key for managing rentals remotely, and for guests too, obviously.
True. And the listing also notes no HOA, subdivision, none. Covenants, restrictions, none.
Okay, so that means more freedom. No HOA rules about renting, paint colors, boat types, etc. No monthly or annual fees.
But the flip side?
Flip side is no shared amenities paid for by an HOA and no governing body to, enforce rules if a neighbor gets weird. It's a trade-off.
Got it. And finally, just quickly on the financial legal side, it says no foreclosure and no lien holder approval required. Sounds pretty straightforward.
Yeah, generally those are good signs. Means it's likely a standard sale by the owner, not distressed. And no complex mortgage situations holding things up. Should mean a potentially smoother transaction.
Okay. Wow. This deep dive into just this one listing.
Yeah.
It's been pretty revealing, actually.
Right. You can learn a lot.
That nearly $200,000 remodel really signals a focus on quality, seems like.
A well-maintained property.
And that combo, the prime waterfront, the Coview thing, plus that substantial garage shop, it really speaks to both the fun and the practical side of lake life.
Exactly. It caters to the recreation and the realities of owning lake gear.
Plus, you can't ignore that nightly rental potential. That's a huge factor for a lot of buyers today.
Definitely changes the financial picture for some people. What's fascinating when you really dissect a listing like this, every single detail, the mile marker, the dock size, the rental allowance, it all tells a piece of the story about the property itself and the lifestyle it offers. It's like a concentrated snapshot of what that specific type of lakefront living is all about.
So, thinking about all these details we've pulled out, here's something maybe to chew on. Beyond the asking price and the obvious stuff, what are some of the maybe less apparent costs or challenges someone might face owning a lakefront property like this one?
Good question. The hidden costs.
Yeah. And maybe how does this specific look at one property on the Lake of the Ozarks? How might that reflect bigger trends or things to consider for lakefront properties more generally? Anywhere.